Hey everybody, welcome to the Sculptsters, the podcast about digital minis, design, and the artists behind them. I'm Tom Mason.
I'm Patrick Keith.
And I'm Bill Thornhill.
Together, we've sculpted thousands of miniatures and worked with the leading brands in tabletop gaming. Join us as we explore the world of miniature design, inspiration, and the hobby of tabletop gaming.
Okay, a round of applause there.
Nailed it!
You did it.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Excellent.
All right, so let's kick it off on our first topic. What have we all been up to?
Patrick?
Well,
Who wants to go
lots-
first?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's there's a lot of things that I've been working on. As far as well, let's see. What do we want to talk about first? Hobby or professional stuff?
Ooh, hobby.
Hobby. Okay.
Yeah, I'm always into the hobby.
Vicky and I've started a new hobby channel. So we've created an Instagram account and a YouTube account so that we can post our hobby videos. And I'm going to be migrating all of our painting and hobbying stuff that we've had on our other channels and just in assorted places and trying to consolidate it into one place. And it's called Table Ready or Not.
Cool.
So if you want to, we'll put a little link or something down in the thing, once it's posted, and then people can go and find us there, and we'll be doing painting videos and tutorials and that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
that's what we're working on, just on the side. So
I think I just saw you post about this.
I think I did.
Yeah, I
Literally
did.
about half an hour ago.
I did earlier today. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll
Perfect
go
time.
and check that out because I'm enjoying following the Sisters of Battle stuff that you've been doing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of living vicariously.
Last
through
year
you.
Oh right. Well, last year I was participating in the Independent Characters Hobby Progress Challenge, which was there. That's another podcast that's about Warhammer 40K, and so they have like a monthly challenge where you pick a squad, like a unit or a vehicle or a character or something like that, and you show here's the start of it, and then you have the month to finish it and then post that in their Discord server. And so last year I made every month except for March because I was at Adepticon, so I didn't get that finished. But what they do is each month that you complete something, you get a point, and then at the end of the year they have like a drawing. There's like prizes and so forth. They've got a lot of support from Table War Gaming and Artist Opus and the Army Painter, and they give out prizes and stuff for participating in the thing. So, but it's a lot of fun, and that's what I did. The Sisters of Battle, the Adeptus Sororitas, for last year. This year, I'm going to be doing Astra Militarum, so that'll be all my Imperial
That's a lot of
Guard stuff.
painting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing kept me from collecting those guys
Oh.
back in the day, even though they were so cool.
Too many.
The only thing that put me off them was just the amount of painting that was going to have to be done. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I love the Imperial Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Not that
Well, I
they-
kind of want to do like a camouflage pattern on them, and I'm going to be doing a lot of sponging on all that. So it's going to be a zippy quick, kind of process.
Yeah, that's
So-
yeah.
They'll look fantastic when they're all done, though.
Yeah.
You won't even know.
I hope so. Thank you. I hope they do. I'm
Have you
looking
got
forward
any
to showing them
particular
off.
camouflage pattern in mind? Are you going to go off something modern or?
Well, I already did one squad. So when the Hive Storm set, the first release for the new edition of Kill Team came out, there was a set of the Tempestus Aquilons, the guys with the jump packs or the grab shoots or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
So I did those first, and so I used that as kind of a test squad, basically, for the color scheme. So it's kind of this dirty tan, kind of in an urban type of khaki sort of color is what I'm going with.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing them.
well, thanks. So what have you guys been doing?
I've been leaping from one thing to another, as is my wont. So I've just taken up with a gaming group in Mansfield, just about half an hour down the road. Really nice bunch of guys. I've not been in a gaming group since I moved over here. I've got one gaming buddy, and we game very infrequently. So it's kind of nice now. I've got another group to go and play with, and they've just finished the Frostgrave campaign, and
Cool.
we had a Stargrave game that I was going to attend the first gaming night, and I was so excited about it that it's on a Thursday evening, and I made a figure on Monday of a captain for my Stargrave crew. I printed it out on Tuesday, and I painted it on Wednesday, so it was ready to go
Nice.
on Thursday. And
That's awesome.
I'd kind of forgotten about having that kind of motivation, that when you've got a reason to paint figures for, I really enjoyed just blitzing through it and just getting it all done and having it on the table there ready to go when it came to
That is super great.
So that was really nice. That's how it used to be when I was gaming back in the day, kind of thing. And so yeah, I really enjoyed that. But we had a game of 5 parsecs from home this Thursday, which was fun as well. I've not really played it before, although I've got the rules.
Were you guys playing that like co-op or competitive? Because I know there's different modes.
Yeah, it was co-op. They were basically having 1 or 2 figures each from the crew. I ended up, because I got there late, I ended up being the bad guys and just basically doing the all the goons that were running around after them. But it was a fun game. But then this Thursday coming rather, we're going to be doing some play testing for Joe Maguire's This Is Not a Test. Which is post-apocalyptic rules, which are very good. I've got the first edition, but we're doing some play testing for the second edition. One of the I think it's Mutant Cannibals, I was told. I'm not sure, but we're going to be play testing those things. Hence, I've obviously now gone and printed off a load of mutants.
As you do.
As you do. I haven't made these ones though. I've got someone else's. But that's the bulk of what I've been doing. But I've also been I've got into Age of Sigmar, which I said I would never do. I said I would never do it. When the old world, when that was me, I was done. And I said I'd never get into Age of Sigmar. But I've got to be honest, I've played a few games of Spearpoint now, and it's really good. It's good fun, and I take everything back what I said. So, yeah.
So what's your army of choice for the Age of Sigmar?
I've finished the Maggotkin of Nurgle Spearpoint faction, which is I'm terrible at. My buddy Ryan just wipes the floor with me every time. But I don't care because I'm just pushing. I'm rolling dice and I'm pushing figures around, and I don't really care.
Sure, it's because it's still fun.
But the next one up is Flesh Eater's Court, because that's my favourite one. The only downside is I hate the Crypt Ghouls figures because they're old now. They look cartoony, and I hate them. So I'm proxying them. I've got some really nice ghouls from Highland Miniatures that I'm going to use in their place. All the other figures are pretty good. Especially some of the newer stuff, and the Usheron figure, that great big undead lord, is just probably one of the best figures that they've ever done. Yeah, that's going to be next on the painting table. But that's kept me busy anyway for the past couple of weeks.
Very cool.
What's Tom been up to?
Well, I'm also painting one of my own figures that I designed to play in a game. But it's been a little on hold. I need to get back to it. It's very close to finishing. But I was playing in a tournament or a campaign, I guess is a better word, for Tests of Honor. And I wanted to design my daimyo for that. Made it a kind of a Ronin bandit king. I sculpted it, and I was like hoeing and humming about how to paint it for a long time. And I finally dude, you just got to paint it. So I'm pretty close to being done, probably 75%. One good weekend and I'll be done. I just have to sit down and finish it. But I'm really liking the way it looks. Having a lot of fun with that. But it's never seen the gaming table yet still. In fact, when we were playing the campaign and it fizzled out, the campaign's done. So I just got to play a one-off battle. I think I played in 1 or 2 battles during it. But I purposefully had the little army that this guy was controlling avoiding conflict because I wasn't ready. I wanted to have him painted. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So. And then the campaign died before I could anyway. So.
That's a shame.
But yeah, that's why I lost my motivation, right? I was about to paint it and then it stopped.
Yeah,
that's it's a great group of great group. So I just got to paint it and show up and get a game in.
That's it. Yeah. Keep the motivation going.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
I'm
cool.
trying to decide what's next.
So what we've been releasing this month? Who's had a release this month?
Bombshell Miniatures has got 2 new things. So we've got the first thing that I've got is 75 millimeter peahen, and she's not a peacock but a peahen. And this is something that Vicky has been pestering me to sculpt for a long time. And so I did a first version of it for a Criticans line that was like a little 30 millimeter version, but there were some things that she wasn't happy with as far as like some of the proportions and the things on it. And so I said, okay, well, when I sculpt it digitally, we'll go in and you can art direct it, how you want it. And so so she seems to be really happy with this version of it. She's currently in the middle of painting a copy of it that we can take for display to ReaperCon. And so that's that was the first thing that we put out. And then the next thing was there's a Scottish rabbit that she's calling Hopscotch. And this was another figure that Vicky has been pestering me for a long time to sculpt. And so I finally got these 2 pieces. Yeah. So they're in the web store right now over on bombshellminis.com. And we'll be taking copies of them to, some stock to the show at ReaperCon to kind of premiere those.
Yeah, they look awesome. I got all the figures. Yeah. How I planned all the images to come up all nice and neatly. Well, they just didn't. So.
Okay.
I was frantically clicking my mouse then. We got them in the end. The rabbit looks awesome. I really like the rabbit.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, she calls him Hopscotch, and she really wanted to paint Tartan for whatever reason, and it's like, okay, well then now you've got a little kilt to work out your tartan on.
Yeah, the only reason I never wargamed Culloden was just all that
time, yeah, right. It's because of all the
period, but no.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
Well, my big release, which is technically not officially released, is it a release? Is a Kickstarter considered a release?
It is.
Well, you've launched it.
I've launched it. People can back it. My big thing, it's been in the works for. My dog's trying to get in. Last several months. Is the Goblin Menace Heroes. So this is my return to the Goblin Menace, this time with player character goblins.
These are awesome.
There's 10 of those in the main set, plus a promo miniature of the Dungeon Meister. I'm having a lot of fun with that. The campaign's going really good. I just unlocked the first stretch goal, which was an add-on set. Of
nice.
Even more heroes, special characters, I should say, that you might recognize depending on how far back your love of role playing goes and whatnot. So, and I will be putting up another stretch goal later tonight. But yeah, it's been a blast. I'm really excited about this campaign because I really got things a lot more together and fully formed. All the miniatures were painted. Had a lot of people helping me spread the word and painting little one-off miniatures to help show off how cool they were. So it's been really exciting, especially since I haven't gone back to this little fantasy world in quite some time. So
are you going to expand on things like the gnomes and the
So my plan is to I do have some ideas for more gnomes, but the next big push is for the Goblin Menace game. So which will have more gnomes and dwarves, and all of the things.
I won't push you on what else then, because obviously it might be secret. But these
This
look great.
Kickstarter is very much focused on the goblins, though. So
Yeah, these look great. They really are full of character.
They're terrific. I love the way they're designed. I think they're cooler looking than like the Paizo goblins, for
Thank you.
Pathfinder. I think they're way more characterful than that. Now, and what I understand is that you sculpted those, all of them, like 10 figures in a month, right?
yes. Asterisk, because I did a little bit of upfront work, but I did complete them all. The majority of the work on all 10. I just don't want to get people freaking out on me, but yeah.
We'll stick a link in the notes for people who want to go and check that out.
Goblin Menace Heroes on Kickstarter.
Awesome stuff.
Excellent.
Well, I've not been as busy as you, which is no big surprise.
You're more regular than me, though. So
kind of, yeah. I'm not as regular as I'd like to be.
Well, there's bran muffins for that. I'm just saying, we're that age, right?
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, it's the summer holidays, so I take on the role of being my grandson's babysitter. So my day gets broken up quite a lot. And
how old is he?
He's 5, and he's a real spitfire at the moment because he's going through that stage of saying no. No, I don't want to. No. So yeah, that's fun. But he starts school at the end of this month, so I'll be back to producing probably a lot more. But this month for my Patreon and tribe, I did some spectral soldiers for Silver Bayonet, and these are
cool
from the Italian supplement or the Italy supplement. And these kind of were they captured my imagination. I thought these look good, these ethereal kind of soldiers kind of floating around the battlefield. So I did a couple of Austrians and a Russian for my first batch, and I'm going to do another 3. I think I'll do like a French, a British, and a Prussian probably, just so there's a bit of variety. Not that it really matters because they're kind of go soldiers, so they could be anything really. So I'm going to be working on the other 3 for the rest of this month. And I also did some like quirky stuff. I realised that for Silver Bayonet, people like little object markers for clues. So I did a little kind of crossroads sign that people can use. And I think what we're going to do is try and do a little object marker each month, something different.
Oh yeah.
But they're not just for Silver Bayonet. You can use them for anything really. So that's what I've been up to for my own personal stuff. Work-wise, cool. I'm working on a commission for War Games Atlantic for their
cool
new Sharp series.
Yeah.
So that's
taking, really?
Yeah, that's
very nice.
Up,
okay.
A bit of all of last week, and
right.
I'm also finishing off some commissions for Trenchworks at the moment for their. I can never remember the name of the. Hang on, it's here. Where is it? No, it's not. It's the. Is it MCDC?
MCDC.
MCDC. Yeah, they're kind of D&D stuff. I've got 2 more hobgoblins to do for them, and then that's that particular thing done.
Yeah, I did a couple of pieces for them.
You have, haven't you? Yeah. You did demons.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I did. Well, a couple of characters. It's like he's a little lawyer thing. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the character's name is. But then I did Penna. I did 2 versions of her. So she's a little witch or magic user type of character. Yeah.
She reminds me of the girl in the Terry Pratchett books. The I kind of get that sort of vibe. Color of Magic, I think it was maybe something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what she reminds me of.
Yeah.
But
the hobgoblins are cool. Yeah, they're looking really cool.
They're getting there. I mean, I must admit, I did really enjoy working on them, mainly because I've not done anything big commission wise like this before, because I tend to avoid commissions a lot because I just want to make my own stuff, but sometimes commissions can be fun, and this one was quite challenging, so I thought I'll give it a go and see how we get on, but it worked out really well. I'll stick a picture up on the screen here for people that haven't checked them out. then go over to the Trenchworks site. But this was part of their Kickstarter. This was their Goblin leader, Lord Varak, and he was quite a big piece to do. But if you want to check him out, you can find him at the Trenchworks site. So but I enjoyed that. Yeah, very much so.
This is very cool.
Yeah. So that's me for what I've been releasing. Yes, that's it. That's all.
What are we on to next? All right. So our topic of the show, special topic.
I'm going to jump into the main topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Crunch.
This is we're going to talk a little bit about our favorite sculptor or sculptor that's inspired us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you want to go first, Tom?
Sure. Okay, so this was super hard for me to decide, and I'm very glad that I'm sure we will do this topic again because I want to talk about a bunch of different people over the course of this show. But when I was looking through my collection of miniatures and thinking about who I want to talk about, I decided to go all the way back to probably the first miniature sculptor I encountered when I understood. It was probably my first miniatures and when I understood that sculptors are making these. And that's Tom Meyer. Specifically, and I don't remember if this is the very first set, but it was darn close. There was a box set made by Rail Partha for the Dungeon board game. Mm-hmm. It came with a bunch of different hero player character archetypes. And I still have all those figures, except for one. I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure my son said he wanted it when he was very young, and he has it somewhere. But the reason why these figures, and this is so inspirational and put such a mark on me as a miniature collector and now sculptor, is that this was the first time that I really dug in and I had figured out how to paint. I bought a bunch of Rail Partha paints, and I got this box set which showed you they should be colored like, so I didn't have to I'm like, oh, that looks awesome, I'm gonna paint them like that. So I got all the colors, and I just remember sitting down for a week straight every day after school for hours painting, and I painted every single figure in that set. And that's especially meaningful because basically after that I did paint for the rest of my life, but it was very sporadic. I never until probably more recent years really dug in and got a lot done. But those figures I'm so enamored with. I really loved. One of my favorite in there is the cleric. Mm-hmm. He's just standing there, but he's got a little bit of a nice little weight to him. The other thing that's very interesting to me about those figures is the proportions. They're Tom Myers, and he's known for hyper realistic proportions, even in miniature.
Yeah.
But these have a little bit of style to them. Mm-hmm. If you look at that figure especially, the head's a little bit bigger, the hands are a little bit bigger, and that really, I think, stuck with me and informed the kind of style that I like in figures that I paint and collect now, and even the way I sculpt to this day. So
yeah, his stuff was, well, it still is mind-blowing, the amount of detail that he could put into it. And I don't know whether this is right, but I read somewhere that he used to sculpt with a magnifying glass, like a microscope, almost.
Yeah, it's a microscope.
I've had that confirmed.
Yeah, it's like he had it attached to a dental chair or something like that. So he would lay down and.
Heard, yeah.
But it's.
And he used to sit back in it because he had a bad back or something like that. There you go, kids. You got to suffer for your art.
That's right.
But his stuff is just mind blowing. When I was first getting into traditional sculpting, and I saw his stuff, I was just blown away. I could not comprehend how he could get that much detail and that much realism into a figure. Just amazing. These are
there's a couple of things,
classic looking figures, aren't they?
Yeah. They're fantastic. But I think that's what's. I actually had to double check because when I was found these, I was like, who sculpted these? I knew there was a good chance it was him because he did so many back then. But again, it's not that mind-blowing detail. There's still plenty of detail. They look great. But yeah, so that was very interesting to see that that it was actually his. So I don't know if it was earlier work or maybe he just wasn't wanting to sculpt that way yet. But I did pick up a few of his. So early on when I was collecting, after I got this, I also picked up what was it called? Thunderbolt Mountain. That was his line. I did have some of those for a while. I never ended up painting those. Those were the ones that definitely were like really detailed. They were intimidating for me to paint. They were super fine, and I loved them. And it was kind of aspirational. But I discovered pretty quickly that wasn't going to be the way I was going to be working. And whatnot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I think one of the very first miniatures that I ever bought back in middle school or whatever it was a Tom Meyer sculpt from Raul Partha. And it was some kind of like a little troll guy with a spear. And in the pack, it came with like a piece of like steel rod.
Oh, yeah.
For you to insert into his hands for the spear. And then spear tip that you glued on to the end of it. And I thought that was like, but it was metal, and I thought, oh, that's a really interesting kit,
especially for that far back to be producing like that. Yeah, that's
right.
That's definitely different.
Yeah.
But then later on, like when I first started sculpting for Dark Sword, I had to go back to like his stuff and like study and analyze it a lot. Not that my stuff was anywhere near like that, but I had to study proportions because the Dark Sword figures were larger. They had different proportions than stuff that I was doing for Reaper or whatever. So I had to like look at a lot of his work. Jim had sent me like a lot of the figures from the line, and I compare and do all this. And the one thing there's two things that really stood out about Tom Meyer to me. Is that like the elves, whenever he would sculpt elves for Raul Partha or for Thunderbolt, the way that the eyes were done were like really kind of alien looking. They were, like in Tolkien, they're described as like almond shaped or whatever. He really captured the eyes in his elves that way. And I always thought that was really cool looking. And then any time he put chainmail on anything, it was just so, the texture of it was just so fine and so uniform, all of the links in the chainmail, and I've never been able to figure out how he did that.
I look at the chainmail I used to do in traditional sculpting. It looked like, if you put it side by side with Tom's stuff, it looked like a 3-year-old did it. It's
like Play-Doh and a toothpick, and it's like right.
Yeah, just like his sculpting is on a completely different level. So that's a pretty good choice for favorite sculptor.
Yeah, good pick on that. Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Patrick? What's your fave?
Oh, well, that would have to be distilled. There's like a whole spectrum of those, and I didn't know we were going to be going back to like our first things or whatever.
That's just what I decided to do.
I've got like because it's like, well, there's Jess Goodwin and Werner Klocke and stuff like that. But what I did was I went through, when we were talking about this, I went through my ArtStation because we're all sculpting digitally now. So I thought, well, let me go and look at digital sculptors that kind of inspired me to like, because it took me a long time to transition from sculpting practically in putty and polymer clay over to digital, because I didn't have the time to just sit down and just devote to, I'm just going to sculpt digitally. So, but anyway, so I went through, I have a gallery over on ArtStation where I've gone and collected like all of these miniature sculptors and stuff that I could go back and look at and kind of study their stuff. And there's one, the sculptor that I wanted to highlight in this episode or this podcast is, I want to say his name is Javier Ureña. And I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, but the first stuff that I saw from him, he was sculpting, I want to say third or fourth edition War Machine characters. And the details on them were just so pronounced for digital sculpts in order to accommodate the production process for molding and casting. And I thought the details were super crisp and so well defined, when you look at the renders of his sculpts
Yeah.
and stuff. So I don't know if you've got
Yeah.
a shot of any
Yeah.
of his stuff.
I've got the Captain Alison Jakes up.
Okay, Alison Jakes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nicely defined.
She's got those two swords, and to me, the way that he's got the stuff posed and how dynamic it is, you can tell. Well, I mean, it looks like to me that he's got a grasp of traditional sculpting in the way that he's sculpted his digital stuff, because the composition and the pose of a character like that, they're grounded so that it takes gravity into account. Because I mean, sculpting digitally, there's no gravity, there's no physics in it, so you can literally just stack all kinds of objects on top of each other. But once you print and produce that at the time these were coming out, I think they were in metal. So you got to take into account that's got to stand up, on the tabletop.
Yeah.
And so all of his sculpts, the ones that I saw, they really had that kind of feel that it's like this is something that it's going to work as a tangible model and not just as a render. So
we've got the kind of like gunslinger guy. At the moment. And one thing that I noticed straight away is he's very good at. Mark Copleston used to call it lifting the edges. On each item, you just lift that edge up a little bit, just so it gives it that little bit of extra definition, and so the paint will catch it as you go past it, kind of thing.
Exactly, and that's a technique that it's like when you're sculpting in putty with it, you'll cut that in and flick it a little bit so it'll lift. Like if you're cutting a belt or a strap or whatever, and you lift that up just like what you're talking about, and you can see on the just zooming in to look at that, his holster on the right side that's underneath the cape. There's like a little strap that goes around that, and you can see those edges are lifted on each side of that, and there's like a rivet, and it's like that's when that's printed and produced at that scale, it's going to be paintable.
And I think that's what a lot of you see sculptors coming in, and their background has been from video games. And the renders look fantastic, and then you come to print them, and all that wonderful detail and texture just vanishes because the technology to produce these is only so good. And unless you give it the definition that this guy does, things just fade away.
Right. Well, even with hand sculpting and stuff, there's only a certain amount of, fine detail that you could put on stuff. We were talking about Tom Meyer earlier, and there's some early Tom Meyer figures that have textures and so forth on them, like even like a fabric, like a burlap texture on some things. And it's like, well, it has to be exaggerated, even at that scale in order for it to show up. So even if it's hand sculpted, so knowing that it needs to be exaggerated like that as a digital sculptor, that's going to give you an edge, up on digital artists, that are coming out of games or animation.
Yeah, animation as well. Yeah, they I think we're perhaps lucky the most that we've kind of evolved from a traditional sculpting background when it comes to things like this. For me, making the transition, the biggest hurdle I had was gauging scale without it being there in your hand. And the first
that was really tough.
The first couple of figures that I made and I printed out they were just they look great on the screen, and then you print them out and there's no detail there, and they're like stick thin. Oh, I thought I'd made a really good figure, and it's trash.
What do you do now to help reinforce that for yourself? Are you just that good? You just know it and nail it at a time?
I just got it together, man.
Well, see,
that and I made a doll. That
okay,
it's a consistent kind of size. So I go off that.
Right, so your fingers are always this big and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the joys of digital sculpting is you have a library of stuff that you can reuse. So once you've got it right for a figure, you've got that that item ready to put on any other figure. Over time you get more consistent with your sizes and your scales kind of thing. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, well, I cheated a lot, and still do. Okay, right? Because
it's called efficiency, Patrick.
Yeah, well, yes, efficiency. That's it. But back in the practical days, I would look at like Werner Klock's figures and Jess Goodwin's and that sort of thing, and kind of look at, hey, if this was in putty, how would they have done that? How would they have made this pouch or this boot or strap or whatever it is that I was looking at? And with digital stuff, you can do a similar type of thing, because I've downloaded STL files and brought them into ZBrush and sized them and measured, hey, this is how big this pouch is, or how big this, how thick this cape is, and that sort of thing, because I knew, well, when I printed it, it came out this big. So you can use it as sort of a guide that
I've done. I've done the exact same thing. I don't regard it as cheating. I think it's there's some sculptors out there just really nail it when it comes to digital sculpting, and when you look at the renders, sometimes the renders seem a bit clunky. They can look a bit chunky in places, and you go as a render. But once you print it out, it looks superb, and it paints up beautifully, because they know that the button has got to be that big on the render for it to actually come out in the actual print. So there's some people really nail it really well, and I don't mind taking inspiration from those people when I need to. Right, so
what about you, Bill?
Mine.
What was your choice?
Now I've got to find. I've gone for the person that taught me to sculpt, and the person that taught me to sculpt was a guy called Nick Collier, and at the time he was working for Wargames Foundry, as was I, as a mold maker. But he very kindly invited me up to his house in Newcastle one weekend, and I did a sculpting boot camp where Tom's heard this story before. Because I've done it on your podcast, and I'll swing the light and pull up a sandbag. So he invited me up, and I did a boot camp, and I sculpted for probably about 16 hours the first day, just pushing putty around. He just showed me how to push putty around. 2 a.m. we finished. Then it was up again at 8, and pushing putty around. But it was an amazing crash course. And he was making World War II figures for Renegade Miniatures at the time. I think it was Renegade. Might be wrong, but it might have been Renegade. But anyway, he was making these World War II figures. And I made a commissar. And what I was doing is I was building... if you can see on the picture there, in traditional sculpting, you make you make parts that you're going to use again and again and again first. And then you mold them up and cast them, and then you've got them to just add to the figure. We do the same thing in digital sculpting, but in slightly slower process in traditional sculpting. So he had these bodies and a head and legs, and all you had to do is turn them at the waist and bend them a little bit and add arms and a head to them, and they were done, and a weapon and things like that. So I made this commissar. And he threw it in with his work. Oh, and a couple of GIs as well. He threw it in with his work, and they never noticed. The only comment they got was do you want to add another couple here, because so it's an even number or an odd number, or whatever they were doing. But they got through, and I was so chuffed that I was like, I can do this. I can sculpt.
Yeah.
But he really was very encouraging. If ever I got any issues that I ran into, he would always be there with an answer kind of thing. And he's very quiet, kind of introverted guy. So I didn't realize that at the time until I kind of spent time with him. But his passion is English Civil War. He loves that period. And he's done the Bicorn range and the Renegade range of English Civil War figures. So now he's doing it for Bloody Miniatures. I don't know whether this is his company or whether this is a company that someone else is doing, but it seems like it's a range of figures that just indulge in Nick's love of English Civil War. So this is, I'll just put another couple of pictures of some painted figures. And Nick sculpts in that chunky style that if you drop your figure, it's not going to break. These are metal; they won't break anyway. But they're just very robust looking figures, very chunky, but they paint up beautifully, really beautifully, and you can see all the detail on them. He defines it really, really well, and I learnt a lot from just sitting there with him and just watching him sculpt. And he's kind of one of those kind of behind the scenes figures. He's not really a name, or I don't see his name bandied around him a lot, but he's quite prolific in the stuff he's done over the years. He did a couple of really big World War II ranges, and I think it was Renegade, and I'm racking my brains now, but it's either Renegade or he did them for another company who sold them to Renegade. I can't remember, it's one or the other. But his stuff is beautiful, and I still want to make English Civil War armies, mainly because I get to paint his figures up. But then again, I've got 6 million other projects, so I probably won't.
Right.
But yeah, so that's my little homage to Nick, and thank you very much for everything you taught me.
Yeah, they're really cool. The picture that you had with like the little regiment with the blue coats and the pikes and so forth. God, they've got tons of character. Like when you look at each one of the individual models in that, they're all in a different pose, and even though they're a regiment, they're all very unique when you look at them. So it's I think they're great.
There was a thing that Brian Ansell told me back in the day, that you can make any regiment, no matter how regimented they are, look different by just changing the shape of the heads. So like if you we were I think Mark Coppleston, he started it. Mark Coppleston started a 7 Years War range for War Games Foundry, and then someone else, Mark Sims, took it over, and the bodies were the same. The only thing that changed really was the heads, occasionally an arm. But when you put them all together, like 4 figures together, and then another 4, and then another 4, and you're swapping them around all the time, when you look down it, you have a ripple. And it makes it look like it's not the same figures, all the same figures all the time. And Nick takes that to an extreme, I think, by he'll use the same pose sometimes, like on the pikemen, but they've got different helmets on. They've got just little quirky stuff hanging off the belts and stuff like that. So he gives each one a particular kind of character, which I really like. Yeah, he's
very cool.
He's very cool indeed. So yes, that was mine. So I think we're on to favorite STL of the month now.
Yes, this will be our STL pick.
Yeah, who wants to go first for this one?
So yeah, this is for us to share with everybody here the cool things we find. There's so many great figures out there, and we want to make sure we highlight some of these for everybody.
So who are we doing first? Should we do yours, Tom?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go back around to Tom.
All right, my pick, let me refresh. It's a Warp Miniatures. Alex Huntley sculpted this, and it is a Jin.
Hang on.
What?
I pressed the wrong button. I did it all wrong. Okay, we're up.
There we go. It's a genie, an air genie.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I picked this. I absolutely love Alex's work. He too started as a traditional sculptor, but very much has embraced digital sculpting. The thing that's really cool about his work is the way he sculpts is still very traditionally, like it's very rough. He's going in there and just working in the details. But I picked this figure especially because this is something that you could do traditionally, but it would be very challenging. But it's still a strong, well-designed figure. You got all the wisping smoke, the hair flipping through the air, and then just a great expression on the face and the movement of the body. I just really like this figure. There's others that go with it, but this one specifically really stood out to me.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
That's cool.
Your mold maker would hate you for it.
Yeah, but that's right. That's why
all that hair, all that trapped air in there. Oh no, nightmare! Absolute nightmare.
What I like about Alex's sculpts are the way he does the stylized faces with the big eyes.
Yes,
I think those are so cool
too. Yeah.
They're really cool. I've got a lot of his STL files. I think I got his. There's like some little frog guys that he did.
Yeah.
And I've got some of those, and then I got Vicky a Beastman set at Adepticon as metal castings of those. So yeah, he's got some really terrific stuff, and this is a great piece.
Yeah,
so
it's really nice. Yeah. And it's the kind of piece that would really stand out as if you in an RPG setting that you plonk that on the board and boom.
Yeah,
nice.
It looks like there's like feathers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I wondered if it's feathers or is it leaves. I was trying to discern that myself.
Is it leaves? Yeah. It could be. Yeah,
they do look like
my
feathers.
Other monitor, it looks like leaves.
But I think they make more sense.
It could be feathers. I don't know.
Some sort of debris floating around.
Yeah,
it's nice the way you mixed it all in.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Patrick, yours.
Oh, let's see. My choice was let's see, what's that called? Athena Storm Hallow.
Yeah.
And she looks kind of like a rogue character, and of course, she's got a doggo with her. So I had to pick that because it's like
the
with
doggo
a pet,
lovely.
Yeah, it's cool. What I thought was really kind of fun about, and it's not just this figure, but like a lot of the Great Grimoire figures are stylized as far as like the proportions on their ladies like this, where she's very leggy and seems much taller than you would think she would be. And it's got kind of an anime type of proportions to me, the way that the body type is, but the features aren't anime. I mean, it's more traditional Western, sort of styling. But this was just a classic rogue kind of character to me with the little daggers on her belt and the little hand crossbow that she had. So I've had this in my what is it, save for later list for quite a while now, and I wanted, now that the sale is on, there's the My Mini Factory sale where everything's 50% off and all that. Ooh, and Bombshell Miniatures is also 50% off.
We'll get around to that. We'll get around to
that. But I want to catch this while it's on sale and print that and paint it, because it's a great sculpt.
I looked at it and immediately thought Vampire Hunter.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Ooh, and it would be cool. Me of the character from Van Helsing, the one that was in that.
Very much so. And you could give her kind of a Puritan hat, like do a conversion, and then then it would really sell the Witch Hunter vibe and stuff on that in a big way.
Great Grimoire Figures was the very first tribe I subscribed to.
Oh really? Okay.
My Miniature Factory, because the sculpts are just so beautiful, all of them.
I think they're fantastic.
I don't think I've ever seen a bad sculpt from there. They're all really, really well done. Okay, so
I've a lot of them in my buy it later thing. Yeah,
I've only printed up about half a dozen of them, and I've got probably about, I don't know, a couple of hundred. You know how it goes. What was it? I kind of phrased with someone. We have the pile of shame.
Yeah.
With hard
Yeah.
drives, you have the drive of depression.
Drive of depression.
Right. Right.
Okay, so
It's like, yeah, no, but on that topic, I just wanted to throw in really quick. I was talking with another guy about that, and he said, "Well, have you got a terabyte of it yet?" And I was like, "No, not quite a terabyte." And it's like, "Well, those are rookie numbers. You need to bump those up, you know."
Crank 'em up.
Right.
Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah. So my favorite STL of the month was one I actually ended up buying the other day, which is this beastie, and I've printed him off already.
Yeah.
And he's going to be. Oh, it's not very good in here, but I don't know if you can see him. But he's a real big beastie, and it's kind of like Pinky in the Brain, kind of Master Blaster
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cool looking.
He's a great big mutant figure with a kind of mutant brain sat on his shoulders. And I love this stuff from this is from Imitation of Life Miniatures, and I've kind of followed his stuff for quite a while, and I have too. It's really,
amazing,
really well done. Again, going back to what we were talking about, the definition for a figure to make it nice and paintable and make it stand out. The details stand out, and this guy really nails it. Sonny something. I can't remember his name. Sorry, I apologise. I'll remember it for next time. But his work's really, really nice, and it's all it's kind of cartoony stylized, but not overly done. It reminds me of like characters from 2000 AD.
Yes,
that kind of an illustrated look, if that makes sense.
Right.
And he does them just really, really well. And what he also does is he gives them multi-parts. So he'll, and this is something I'm thinking of doing with my figures, is making them more modular. And he'll only do like a couple a month, but he puts a lot of effort into the ones that he does. And this one's got, this went together beautifully, and it prints out lovely. That's my STL of the month. And if you want to go and check him out, he's at Imitation of Life Miniatures. And again, he's on the summer sale too. I think it's whether it's off 50% off or 40%, but whatever it is, it's worth it, definitely, for sure.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah,
I've been a big fan of his stuff, and I follow him over on Instagram. Because he'll post stuff over there. And
he's been doing some like miniature fantasy stuff at the moment.
And he's got is it like 10 or 15 millimeter range where it's like it's sculpted even with more push, proportions, so you can print it even smaller to do.
It's kind of unusual move by someone. Most people stick with 28, but he's took it in. I wonder if he's like kind of me. I like to sculpt things that I'm going to use. So maybe he's got into this. And he's found a set of rules that he wants to use, and he's like, I'm going to make these. And if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't.
I kind of wanted to get some of the 15 millimeter stuff and print it out, just to see, how it translated.
I really like his stuff. I'm checking out a few.
It's really fun.
Are you looking at it now? I think I just spent about $60 with him on the sale. And I could have spent more, but I thought, no, I'll leave the others for maybe next week after.
Hey man, you're going to hit that 1 terabyte, before you know it.
This is another sculpt. Yeah, go ahead.
300 gig, I think.
Wow.
I try not to look.
Yeah, right.
This is another sculpt.
Get a whole other drive.
Miniature proportions and detail very well, which is always very important to me, because like you said, it's easy to fall into that video game modeler trap where everything is pinheaded and fine detailed. But this is fantastic.
And looking at the actual miniature itself, it is utterly paintable. I mean, it's got stitching on the clothes, and the stitching stands out really well. The little nodules on his skin, they all stand out really well. So this thing will paint up a treat. I'm itching to get some paint on it, but I've got to work, so I'll have to wait.
Yeah.
Damn. Yes. So that was mine for the month. So,
very cool. a good pick.
Yeah. Over to you, Tom. Come on, you're supposed to be...
Next topic? All right. So next topic is...
It's like
really,
we've planned this.
It is. It is.
Well, it's
We'll
what's
get better,
coming
folks.
next. So
It's
what's coming next?
Yeah. So
What is coming next?
yeah, what is coming next? What's coming next for you, Tom?
Well, for me, it's going to be wrapping up the Goblin Menace and then straight into a new project. So I'm going to be what?
Can you share?
I can share.
Oh.
It's live. So yeah, I'll speak about it more later as it's further develops. But basically, as soon as I'm finished with all the remaining figures for Goblin Menace Heroes, I will be diving in to sculpting the figures for the Malice of Light Adventures board game. It's going to be a big board game dungeon crawl project that I'm working on with some great friends, game designers, the Sadler brothers. And my friend Chris Doman, who is a graphic designer extraordinaire. So we're all teaming up together to put this awesome game we've been talking about for years, about working on a big game project together, and everything just seemed to align the last couple months. Cool. And so yeah, I'm very excited to do that because I did finally sculpt some humans digitally with my but I'm excited. Yeah, and I guess okay. I did do a couple for Reapers, so those barbarians, but I'm excited to do a much broader I love the Goblins and I'll sculpt those forever, but it's going to be fun to be working on some different concepts, character styles, because I'm doing heroes, I'm doing villains, they've got different minions. So
is it a big box set? How many miniatures are we looking at?
Big box set. So I'll be sculpting 21 miniatures for this, and then there will be, some additional. You'll get more than that in the game, but yeah.
That sounds cool.
So this is going to be a board game project.
It's going to be a board game, yes, dungeon crawl board game, based on the Malice of Light universe. Brady J. Sadler, one of the Sadler brothers, it's his fantasy world that he writes. He's got. I think he's about to have the third novel out. It's a 6-novel series. Third one's coming out. It's a really, really cool series, really cool world. Definitely encourage everybody, if you're interested in that, you can go search him up. You can search Twin Tail Studios or Brady J. Sadler, find those books, and locate the Facebook page and other social medias to follow along. It's still early stages, but like I said, I should be sculpting miniatures for it in the next month or two.
Has it got a website now people can go and visit?
twintailstudios.com.
Okay, we'll stick it.
That's the main website for the game company, but that's all funneling through there now. So they kicked that off for the game company, and it's now helping funnel and publish the books too. Up until that point, Brady was doing it.
Cool.
Self-published, but yeah.
Very nice. That's an exciting project.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
A big one like that. And is it just you that's doing all the miniatures?
Yep, I'm doing all the miniatures.
You're the man.
Nice. Wow. Yeah.
That'd be cool. How about you, Patrick?
I guess I've got 2 ongoing projects. The next thing that I'm working on for tabletop time is the Sisters of the Old Blood, and they ran I want to say it was Game Found for their Kindred of the Abyss, which were like these deep sea diver characters and so forth, because they're working on their own game setting and that sort of thing. But this is going to be their sort of proto-vampiric Victorian steampunk type of characters. So it's an all female faction sort of thing. So I plug right into that. And so I'm looking forward to getting going on those. And they'll be launching a Game Found project for that once we get the first collection, I guess, of the figures done, to where they can show them. So that's what I'm working on currently for that. And then I've also got stuff for DGS Games, who they produce Free Blades and
I like their stuff.
I've they've got some
great group of
that's
people.
yeah, they're terrific to work for, and I've done a bunch of stuff for the Free Blades, but they have a new game that they're talking about launching next year that I've been working on, and they've already announced this. And I was on their little podcast or whatever that we recorded at Adepticon talking about that. And it's kind of modern fantasy type of thing. It's kind of a Shadowrun type of setting, I guess, in a way. It's very supernatural creatures and vampires and werewolves and angels and demons and all this kind of stuff are going to be included in it. So I've sculpted, I think, most of the figures for the first couple of factions of that, and then I'm supposed to be starting on the next ones because there's like 4 or 5 factions that they have for that, and I'm the only sculptor that's working on that so far. So, and that's been a lot of fun. So I'll have some more of that stuff coming up. I guess after ReaperCon. So,
and you're attending ReaperCon?
Yes, we'll be at ReaperCon in a big way with all of our bombshell stuff. Cool. So
cool. And if no one's checked it out and you go in there, make sure you go and have a look at his brand new cases.
Right, our new figure cabinets. If you have been following Patrick on Facebook or Instagram, he's been building these storage cases for all his product, and it's been an interesting watch. I've been exhausted watching you. Well, it's been Well, and the thing about it here in Texas, trying to build that stuff out in the garage area of the shop, it's like 94, 95 degrees every day, which is like 34 Celsius for those of you, on the non-American system.
The rest of the world.
And so the rest of the world, it's super hot out there. So when Vicky and I have been working on it, we either get up like super early and get out there before the sun would come up and tinker on it, or we'd have to wait until late and then, work after it's cooled off out there a little bit.
What's your humidity like down there?
It's just like, and we've had rain. It has actually rained a day or two over the course of while we were working on it. We'll get those showers, pop-up showers or whatever. So then when you step outside, the humidity just hits you in the face. It's just so dense. It's like, it's killing me.
I made some shelving myself a couple of days ago for down in my little hobby space, and it was probably about 85 outside, so it's not quite as warm as there, but the humidity in Ohio is like 100%. And so
right,
literally within 20 minutes, I am drenched, wet through.
Yeah, it just sticks to you.
It's just exhausting, and I'm trying to do it as fast as possible so I can go in to the air conditioning.
Yeah.
People in Britain will not understand this. It's just like another level of heat. And the joy of air conditioning. Well, we'll talk again about that some other time.
Right. Well, now in your little hobby space that you've been kind of renovating or whatever, you were talking about doing some hobby videos or something, right?
I missed that out actually, and stuff I've been doing. So I launched a little YouTube channel for Lost Heritage Miniatures. I launched one years ago, but the thing is, I lost all the details and I had to log on to it, so I had to make another one. So there you go. So I released the first video last week, which is basically just a painting demo, and it's the captain that I made for the Stargrave game.
Okay. I'm gonna go watch that.
I actually videoed it. I just thought, I'll do a real-time video, and I think the video is 54 minutes. So it probably took me about an hour and 15 minutes to actually paint it all and finish it. So it's a real-time video, but it's not like a 3 or 4 hour video. Because
did you say it's Lost Heresy Miniatures on YouTube?
Lost Heresy Miniatures, on YouTube,
okay.
So that was fun, and I'm planning on doing more of them. What I think I'd like to do is every month take one of the figures that I've made and do a quick painting, video of it, And maybe another idea I had was putting it into a whole video from start to finish. So maybe some of the sculpting process at the start, and then a bit of, a little clip on printing.
Break it up, right? You get a little series,
and then painting it, and to the finished product kind of thing.
That's super cool.
And it's just that it's not only just something that people might find interesting, but it's something that keeps me. It's that motivation that you need to do something. I have ADHD, so I can be terribly lackadaisical in things. But if I've got a deadline, a project deadline, I work like hyper focused. So this is a good way of keeping me hyper focused. I make sure I paint my own stuff, which I seldom do. And I think people appreciate seeing a painted version of your figures. I think everyone relies. We all rely on renders really a bit too much these days, and forget perhaps that people like to see a painted miniature. I think
it's nice, like you said, it's nice to help the person understand what it really looks like in the real world, right?
Right.
One thing you have it printed, but then you also have it painted. You're like, man, this thing could look fantastic.
Who is the guy that's painting Goblins on Facebook for you?
Oh, that is Mike Cousins from Epic Duck Studios. So Mike, he's fantastic. But
he's a good guy.
Just totally you know him too, Patrick. But I've been enamored with his work for so long. And when I first did my very first set of 5 goblins at Adepticon, I think we had encountered each other and made a connection. He came, bought the set. Within an hour, had come back and he had painted one, like based it and everything. And he is the reason that the goblins can have any skin color. Like I was going to do green, which I did for the heroes, but I was going to do green, very typical. But he painted it like with this blue skin and these cool like magenta stripes. Which is it a tattoo? Is it just a pattern of the skin? It looks so cool. So when I did the rest of them in this new set, I've been so fortunate that he's been able to continue painting all of them because I just love his work and he does such a great job.
I wish I would have
adding character,
captured a few of the pictures to show people because they were just immaculate, really, really nicely done.
They look great. Yeah,
we throw them up in post, or they can go check out the Kickstarter.
Right. We'll put the links in. Don't worry. So I suppose what I'm doing next is for the Patreon tribe stuff is I'm doing some zombies for sci-fi. I've kind of been itching to do these because I want to solo game one of the Stargrave books, the first supplement, which was basically plague zombies. So I'm finally getting around to making some. So that's I've made a couple so far. I've got a couple more to do, and a few more of those spectral soldiers. I think that's what I'm going to be working on this month. But then I'm itching to get some more Trench Crusade done because I love the stuff that inspires. It's just absolutely bonkers, and I love it. And I've made I kind of started out making some of the the Black Grail figures, but then I kind of slipped into making the some of the Heretic Legion figures. Made a couple of bomb witches and a priest and something else I can't remember. But I figured I should really make some Legionnaires next. But that'll probably be for next month, I would have thought. I kind of blocked out an idea for them, but I'll wait until next month before I finalise it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing them. That'll be fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And I might even play a game of it sometime.
Oh, like, even better.
I don't know whether it's the same for you guys, but I'm an avid rules buyer. I buy rules that I just like the look of. And have all the intentions in the world of playing the games and never do. But Trench Crusade is one of those that I definitely want to play. I just want to get the figures made first. And that's another curse. We can talk about this another time, but the curse
of... It'd be a great topic.
Is
I'm writing it down for later, but go ahead.
But not liking the miniatures for it, or there's not miniatures that you think are suitable for it, and you want to make them yourself, but you don't have time.
Yeah, we barely have time to paint. Now we're going to sculpt our own miniatures for something that we're
Yeah,
going to do.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
It's just like I'm not buying those miniatures because I could make them, but you'll never make them. And I've kind of discovered the key here is just buy the damn miniatures.
Yeah.
Yes, Games Workshop.
But then
I'm talking to you.
Then you have to have time to paint them or print them or
It is very fun to do like one character that's just yours though, right? Like you said, for your captain and me for my Daimyo.
Yeah. And it's you know, it's lovely to
then
think
it's still a little unique,
crew,
right? Even though everything else is the same.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll that'll be a good topic for another time, I think, something like that. Okay, that's a wrap, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Sculptsters. So we're gonna do our outro now. Why don't you guys go first, and then I'll take us out.
You go first, Patrick. You know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Where they can find you, where you want them to go.
All the goodies and the
things that
whatnot.
you tried to
How can they
cram
get
in
more of
earlier.
Patrick?
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, the first thing is, if you're gonna come to ReaperCon, come see us live at the show because we're gonna be there the whole weekend. That's gonna be Labor Day weekend, and we're sponsoring the painting contest, so we got trophies and stuff for that. So bring your entries and all that sort of thing. We always love seeing our painted stuff. And then to go and purchase any of that stuff, if you want to paint it and bring it to the show, you can get that at bombshellminis.com, which I'm sure there's going to be a giant list of links in the description thing, like there is. So yeah, Bombshell Minis there. We also have a Bombshell Minis My Mini Factory page where you can get STL files of all the same stuff that's over there, over at the other place, depending on if you want to print it out yourself. And then we have our new little hobby channel thing, which will be starting up in September. That's Table Ready or Not, and that's going to be a YouTube channel and an Instagram account. So
cool.
That's all of our stuff.
Just on a note, actually, because I just remembered something. Because this is a new channel, they might not let us put links in below. So what I will do... Yeah, I know. It's a funny thing, because I tried to do it in the Lost Heresy Miniatures one, and it wouldn't let me... You've got to, have so many viewers and things like that. So
we will try to put it in the description.
I'll put a little end page in with it all written down for people.
Okay.
Just so they can do it that old medieval way of actually typing it in to the browser.
Yeah, sure.
We'll get there.
Like some barbarian.
Right. From the Middle Ages.
Yeah. So, Tom, where can people find your Kickstarter?
You can find my Kickstarter on Kickstarter by searching Goblin Menace Heroes or searching Tom Mason. You can find me. The easiest way to find me in all my spaces, and it's just recurred to me that I need to actually update this, is to go to thetommason.com. That's all my links to my YouTube channel, Tom Mason Sculptor, Effigy Minis, my web store, and all the various social medias. So, but yeah, definitely check out Goblin Menace Heroes. It's going on right now. And final day is on August 29th.
Plenty of time to get in there.
Plenty of time.
Cool. For me, if you want to check out Lost Heresy Miniatures, you can find me at lostheresyminiatures.com. That's the official website, but you can also find me on My Miniature Factory as well. You can check out stuff there. And if you'd like to check out the painting video, that's on the Lost Heresy Miniatures YouTube channel. And then you can see what inspired me.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I don't have a fancy outro for us, so
we didn't have a fancy intro either.
We just say, hey,
people will get over it, I think. You did brilliant. Mate.
I don't think we're doing fancy. Yeah. So.
Yeah, fancy.
All right. Well, great hanging out with you guys and everybody who came to watch. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye now.
See ya.